Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen Topham at the third at your service. Now we're going to talk about the diesel team, their true motives and actions and consequences, which has a lot to do with it and the reason why the story unfolds the way it is at the moment. A lot of you are wondering why I'm not on a platform yet. It's because I've been set up, as everybody knows. Um, a lot of you are wondering what the flaming hell has got to do with everything. I said there was a 40-year gap in the last podcast, which is very short, and acknowledge that to you that is true, and it's done 1984 when it is 2024. So that's nearly 40 years. So basically, now you're starting to see my timeline unfold a lot more. But now you probably wondering, what do we do with the North Norfolk Railway? We have to tell them they can't be on the premises anymore. The management, they will have to go. The diesel team will have to go. Why? The diesel team, their true motives were to kick out all the steam teams, which my team, my fleet, the second generation, and all of that, right? We acknowledged that a lot of things are starting to unfold, which is very unpleasant at first and everything else, right? Regardless of everything that's unfolding in front of your eyes, which is true events. Now, real life events that are happening unfoldedly and everything else. The North Norfolk Railway are screwed up so bloody badly, now they're crying wolf, right? Diesel team's true motives were to get rid of the steam team, fuck them up, excuse my language, and they basically set us all up with different directions and forms, as I stated in the last three podcasts ago, and their actions are really cruel, not the same way you think, right? You're ending up with a problem that you can't solve right now, right? You've seen it unfold, you've seen it unfold naturally, and you're missing the link, which is me. But you have to have me on a platform. So this is why I'm giving porters and guards a little wake up call, if you will. A little something to wake them up, smell the coffee, get the routine across, keep sharing the podcast or the channel across to everything, make sure they get the right messages and all of that across, which I do. And you're wondering, why am I here when I should be on a platform? Right? That's the question that's floating in your head. I'm trying to clear my name, which is number one, because they set me up. So I've got to have a lot of evidence, right? A lot of evidence is going to unfold now. That's going to put the diesel team in a very uncomfortable position. Even the management of the North Norfolk Railway will end up screwed and probably be ending up dead, probably having a gun in their heads and something like that. And they will end up saying, look, this is all unfolding, all in truth, and you're not acknowledging it, right? You want to know why they got their true motives in a very unawkward position right now, right? You're wondering that they could get away with blue murder because my family wasn't around. Oh, well, we are back. We're fighting back. And you've got the steam team as well, third generation, right? You have to be realistic now. This is no BS. This is no bullshit, right? You, as a communityist, and the people that are watching this and everything else, you have to acknowledge this is real life. This is not a children's book. This is all that, regardless, I was safeguarded. I managed to pick up the language so damn bloody quick, more than my English, Scottish, Irish, and Welsh language combined us together as a Southern language. Now, you guys grow up there. The diesel team are screwed up, right? You have Diesel 10, who's my father in all of this, right? He can't do nothing because he's retired. So he must have a replacement or one of you bloody boneheads up there trying to control everything under the sun, make it look like it's all hunky dory. I'm not gonna have Sydney forward slash Who Harkett fuck this up so badly because if he screws it up so bloody badly, we just got to wait for him to go bye bye. Then we got to wait for Joe Mudden to go bye bye, and Diva's Diesel's off out the picture, and then Daisy's out of the picture, right? Why is that? Because the third generation are now coming in, right? A lot of people will say, why is the third generation important? I said, did you know we're like a family? We're not a fucking bunch of bullshitters. I said, look, how much bullshit do you have on YouTube that is actually full of bullshit and not straight to the point? Right? You're getting something that's realistic, you're getting something that's true by the way it was unfolding, right? You, like at the moment, the diesel team don't give a shit. The true motives of them, they are like saying, like, oh what? Boom, boom, oh shit. Right? It's like Divas Diesel feeling like he's guilty so bad, right? Feeling guilty conscience really bad. He's probably thinking about it right now, right? And you might wonder why Andrew Mudden is the right asshole at the moment, right? Even Hugh Harkett, right? They're a bunch of what you call. I said they're a diesel team. Let them screw it all up, because if they screw it up so bloody badly, they will end up with a pile of ashes on the floor. If I say correctly, right? You have to be realistic. This is no joke. This is no game, right? It's different to being like understanding, realistic, and everything else, which is true. People are asking, right, you're 40 years old and you've now got this job on your hands, which I've spoken to Lexi this morning and the rest of the Steam team as well. I said, how do we get rid of the diesel team if they screwed you up to begin with? They never did. Why? This is the question. Question one. Why did the diesel team hit the middle? This is why it's all blank. Right? I come in and I corrected that fucking anomaly, right? I told you there's more to the RWS series than it is the TV series. Why is that? Because the TV series is all in reverse. Why then it goes forward at the same time? What happens when we meet in the middle? Obviously, Thomas and the Magic Railroad again. Ding ding. Right? You understand, now I'm alive and well. It's just now finishing the middle piece correctly. But we don't need it screwed up. We want it all corrected. But these diesels, diesels are not around that much, are they, at this moment? Right? You're looking at it in the biggest way possible, right? You have to acknowledge that you got this, and diesel team cruise motors are really harmful, really stupid. This is why Joe Mudden couldn't work it out. Her head is like a flaming fizzle, if you will. Right? She's no longer a damn bloody nurse. She is basically an interfering old cow. Excuse my language, but she is a cow on the track. Right? You have to get rid of that cow. Moo. Why? Because it's all true. So what do you do when you get a cow on a track? Think about it. All the steamies can't blow it away, not acknowledging it. You go to the porters and the guards and acknowledge them to them that you've got a cow on the line, right? Which is true, right? You got Joe Mudden, the cow, moo, right? And it's going through that mind, and you're asking, why is he talking like that? I said, did you ever think that while I'm not in the picture, I know things they don't? And you have to pick up on these little details every time. When I say she's moo, 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 what happens? We had this similar problem with Daisy and some of the other engines, the big engines, Gordon, Henry, James, and you have them going on a bridge and they were hit by the cow. Moo, moo. And then all my big engines come back and report to the station master, and then ended up saying, we got a cow on the line and it's lost its mother, or calf, if you like to call it correctly. Think of that as Joe Mudden, stuck in the middle of everything of this, right? She's innocent to a point, but she's actually got bloody motives to actually set people up and even take them into mental health hospital in, in Norwich and make them say, "Oh, he's cuckoo, he's cuckoo." I said, "No, he isn't." "Oh, she's cuckoo, oh, she's cuckoo." Do you know what? Not right. So happened. So when the cow comes home, or acknowledges that it was picked up by the cattle van by Edward, a friend of mine, a private connection, right? Establish that, boom, boom, right? You got that cow off the rails and it's all safeguarded for all my engines to go crossing the line, right? You got that very tense problem with the diesel team where they all screwing up every story you already watched and acknowledged. Right? Now you got to open up your eyes a bit more and acknowledge shit is real. We can't do nothing. Why? Because every area around Norfolk or Suffolk or Cambridgeshire is all connected. Why? Now, if I said the diesel team has a lot of motives, they do have true motives, evil motives that can ruin the steam team's reputation on the line. They've been for 3 generations trying to get you sorted, trying to wake you up, smell the coffee, get through things and everything else, and acknowledge that I do have to do what the job needs to do, right? You have to work it out in your heads and establish, right, this is what's happening and unfolding. Correct. Why? Right, let me put this in perspective for you, right? You're going to end up with a sticky situation where the diesel team is going to screw up so bloody badly they won't know what hit them, right? You have to be considerate to yourself at the same time as being realistic. You have, there's so much problem in the air that you don't know what is unfolding, what is acknowledged, what's of this. Like the diesel team don't give a shit about you. You worship them, but they don't do nothing for you. Right? You've seen things unfold now that is coming through from the books, the TV show, and all of that, right? Let me explain to you, right? The story is not always in the same place all the time. This is the little trick I'm going to tell you. You know Bill and Ben, right? We all know Bill and Ben and how cocky they can be, right? Because Boco's on the line, right, as it's stated, you normally will have Bill and Ben play prankable jokes on this and acknowledge about all of this. And they were taking the piss out of Boco, who is an innocent diesel and part of the steam team as well as the diesel team, vice versa. He is a middleman right now, right? I established that you have to be realistic on this. Where's Bill and Ben and all of this? Oh, well, they are separated in two different areas and so forth, but they all together. But the engine forms are together, if you know what I mean. So yes, the story is told in two different areas for this one. So you got diesel, and then everybody moaned about the trucks being missing and everything else, and Boko took them and all of that, and then Bill and Ben started to play practical jokes. Right, we all established that Boko's innocent, and so did Bill and Ben, as they were doing practical jokes, which is understandable, right? The diesel team itself may fuck that up and say, right, boom, 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 or they might screw something else up. They might screw the public over, right? I'm not allowing you to go on that platform, right? You, in the end of the day, you're going to have tickets reduced to £5 each way. Why? Because it's too short. £10 maybe. But the thing is, the cheaper the ticket fares, the easier it becomes. Why? It's called a lot of people. What diesel teams don't do, or the management can't work out, is why are we making this prices so high? Right? They're all gonna go sitting down and rectify the problem. No, they're gonna keep saying we're gonna keep at these prices because we want these prices. Right? Re-established from the very first, very few podcasts ago, acknowledging about prices I said the diesel team is part of that problem as well, you know. It's not just the management. I said at the end of the day, the management don't know the old ways. They screw up. So when they screw up of the early years and the old ways and all of that, what are you going to think when the modern years come along? You are going to be so screwed up, you don't know which way to go. I said every story, every fact, every detail is now coming to unfold in your front of your eyes. Right? I am telling you now, you're putting yourselves in a very high risk because you're screwing up the time stream, which you shouldn't do. Right? People appreciate what they're getting, but at the same time, the prices are too high. Everything's too high at the moment, and everybody won't pay for it. Right? The porters, the guards, and everybody else should wake up and smell that damn coffee and realise they've got something there that's to rectify. But they have to get me back on the platform to do it, because I'm not allowing the management to take over. Why? Because when the management's in control, the North Norfolk Railway isn't a company. It's a heritage railway, not a bloody. It's like I said in the last podcast. I stated to you that Who Harkit is a pussy. Excuse my French if I feel out of French. But it's like saying to him, he can't do nothing, he can't control, and he's left it to you lot, the management that's right at the moment. Don't know, you guys don't know nothing? Well, tell me this. Why is the Fat Controller third gen not on the platform? Because he's been grasped, set up, everything else, and then you want me to clear my name? Well, the hard part is, it is the clearing up my name first. I'm declaring my name to prove to you that I didn't do nothing. I wasn't physically, verbally abusive. But the thing is, the fact is, it's coming into your eyes and your eyes and ears, bang, 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 realizing everything that's unfolding is all in truth under my belt, not yours. Well, because the diesel team has has motives and actions that has a lot of consequences. A lot of actions they do, they make consequences. Why? Because they make people that are originally on that platform did not do nothing wrong. Do you know why? I have a private connection that came back to me and said, "You're innocent." Right? That's the first key. Not guilty. Right? That's the video I always uploaded. Right? And it's telling you exactly how I got set up and how I got this and that and that. People believe that rather than a falsified letter that's been set up. Right? The cops are truly thick enough to realise it's a falsified letter and never came back to me and said, "We understand how you've been set up and how you got this now, and we understand this." Do you know what? They rubbed it under the carpet, trying to rub it under their carpets and say, "Let's rub it under the carpet." I said, "Don't you dare." Why? Because I know things you don't. Right? Bust my buffers, sir! Thomas, pack it up! At this moment, we are dealing with a lot of things that you don't see. Right? Now you're wondering, why is this person got this ability? Why has he got this gift? I said, look, have you realised why the diesel team is fucked up? True motives that they wanted to do things their way. Right? When you see it their way, you're seeing it in the wrong way. Right? When Duck first came to the island so long ago, it's either the Great Western Way or the wrong way, if you like to call it correctly, and acknowledge that you've screwed up, right? The hard part of all of this package is knowing the events unfolded in a certain way that you can't fuck it all up, right? The diesel team screwed up. The management screwed up, right? You have to take that into consideration and realize they screwed up big time. Why? You see, the problem is with a lot of this is that you can't see their true emotions, right? So their motives, their actions, and their consequences all adds up. They always end up screwing up everything, and when you realise what was meant to unfold. Say like Bill and Ben and Boko, for example, in the Diesel episode, which it's just come true, hasn't it? Front of your eyes and ears and all of that. Bang. Right? You have to establish. Now I see that. Now what's why in the books it states that Stephen Topham Hatt the third is supposed to be on a platform right now. Myself. Why? Think about it. Think about it logically. Right? I got so many years to try and solve this mystery without you fucking it up, excuse my language, but it's not the type of face I want to look. I said having the diesel team and that bent management does not help the situation. It screws everything up. Do you know what? History just repeated itself already in front of my eyes. I said it's all diesel's team's fault and their motives and their actions. Doesn't always apply to the North Norfolk Railway. It applies to the other railways as well. Why? Just think about it logically, right? When you put plus one equals two, plus the extra one makes three, what do you get, right? Let me put this in perspective for you while you lot try and work this out, rattle your head through this. Henry already knew about this, Gordon knew about this, James knew about this, and then you got everybody else, right? You have to realise they already knew what was going to unfold. They're not angry with me. They're not upset with me. They're not pissed off with me. Right? People are going to start picking up pieces, little pieces. Right? And you got to be realistic. Right? The North Norfolk Railway is scrapped. Why? Because the diesel team screwed up. True motives. Why? While they're all doing their dirty work with the management will end up realising we should be listening to me, to towards Steve, to me basically, because I'm their boss, right? The management won't listen to me at the moment because they feel like they say, all right, we got to keep them off the premises, right? By doing that, they're damaging every episode that is shown from the TV show, and that's the true way it's going, right? You will destroy everything that should be unfolding correctly. Why? Because you problemized it up again and again. How many times you got to do it? Two more times. Why? You're trying to get me to do what's not necessarily need to be done, right? I say to you, if you screw me up, I will screw you up 10 times more and take you to court. That's where the North Norfolk Railway is heading. Why? Because the truth will set you free. Because I'm saying to you, don't mess with me. Why? You banned me from the premises? Wrong move. That isn't your fault. It was Hugh Harkett's fault. Why? Mentally insane. So what did Joe Mudden do? Kick out all the Steam team members plus myself. Work it out. Going forward. Then people are starting to wonder why. Why? Then people will ask every episode that comes through, every day or every week, whatever, it's going to unfold naturally. And while you're not aware of what's unfolding, the porters and the guards will get sick and tired of the management and say they will stand up for themselves for a bit and say you can piss off, you lot, because they will stand up for me because I'm basically disabled. So work it out. Not completely. I can still walk, I can still talk and hear and everything else, but in the day, work it out. The diesel team have no sympathy. They don't have no. They don't have the actions or the motive to come face to face contact with me. They feel like they've been to me at the moment. They've been a death threat to me. Right? Saying this is what they're doing. What? If Boko's already on the line, that should be telling you something. That's for sure. But their true motives are so harmful. They want to kill the whole lot off. I said they're not going to. Why? Because I won't allow it. You see, there is some part of the timeline that will clear my name. My timeline is totally different and it's off the radar. Why is that? Safeguard put in place for me. All I have to do is keep coming out with the truth about the diesel team, the management, and everything else. Why? I may not have eyes and ears in front of their eyeballs directly, but I know what actions they took, the consequences they were doing, and even what they were doing to everybody in Tom, Dick, and Harry, left, right, and centre. And what happens? You're ending up with one major problem. Just watch as the Norfolk Railway screws everything up. They will end up feeling dead and buried and gone. Why? Because they've been an obsolete heritage railway line in history. Why? It's not going to be like that if you take my route as be on my route and be safeguarded. The diesel team will be out because they're gone. The management will start fucking themselves off because they won't have nothing to do with it. Work it out. What do you think I got up my sleeve? Now to save the Norfolk Railway in every angle. I've been really useful since I was 5 years old, and you never saw it unfold. So everybody that is on the platform right now didn't see it unfold properly. Go and look at it and realistically look at it. Why is the diesel team still in play when they shouldn't be? Hugh Harkett's got no rules and regulations in place. I said he hasn't got rules and regulations. All he's got is his backside, and that's it. Give me an example why he doesn't move about a lot. There's a lot of people that know Hugh Harkett too damn well, but I know him as Sydney. Why? Because he's a lazy dumb fuck. You know, you can see it, but you know he's a lazy dumb fuck. Then you got Joe Mudden on top, right? Being a complete arsewipe herself. She's ready to go packing. Bye bye. Why? Because it's all coming out to light, right? She knows she set up the third gen fat controller, so she's fucked up. So work it out. Strike one. Daisy, strike two. Then Davis Diesel, strike three. They're all supposed to go bye bye right now, right? So Hugh Harkett's just standing there with Claxton and all the rest of the other squad, and they all care about the bloody railway. They don't care about money, railway. They care about the money factor. So they lose what they don't gain. I said the true motives of the diesel team is that they all fucked up and their actions have consequences. And that's what's happened. You have to realistically put your mind to it and realize it's all true, all logic, all facts. Are you going to take, look, let me explain, right? There's a lot of things in this world we want has been unfolded to you for a reason, right? You just have to acknowledge why did it unfold the way it did. The only thing is I've been catching the diesel team out quite often, but I had to do it in secrecy to stop people from knowing too much at the moment. But now is the time when I need help, support, guide, bang bang. The porters and the guards are not going to allow me back on the platform because they've been listening to bent management, the diesel team, and all the rest of them. Why? Do you think that they were on a platform on the day that that's how they set me up? Work it out. If I wasn't verbally, physically abusive, that's Daisy's bloody job. Right? We all talk about Daisy, haven't we? Right, I'm gonna be putting it on her table. Her name is Angela Rudd. Now work it out. Somebody who's stubborn and selfish at the same time, trying to outrule me. No. You see, you have to work out every Tom, Dick, and Harry in that series. I'll tell you, if you really look at it, right, a friend of mine, a private connection, knew everything as much as I do. Right? By trying to take me out before it even convinces. I said, you screwed up already, diesel team, and the two motors are already in play from the beginning. You seen Duck's story played out in real life. So don't fuck him over because he's innocent. Don't fuck Gordon and Henry and James up because they're innocent. Why is the third Topham Hatt the third innocent? Didn't do nothing wrong. Just knows a lot more. Right? Calculations and all of that does the trick. Right? You lot are all gonna be crying wolf now because you need me up there. Right? You're gonna have to rectify the biggest problem of all time. Right? Which is only a letter, but that letter has caused me a lot of damage and a lot of respect discerned. Think about it. The porters, the guards, the security up there, they're all bullshitters. But they're learning, don't get me wrong, they're learning for the best, but at the management's end, they're fucked. Right? When Daisy was on the platform, they screwed she screwed every one of them up. Right? And then even Joe Mudden helped the line on this. And then Divas Diesel on top. Who are you gonna fucking say they got a good reputation? They never had. Have you noticed the way that we all got booted out in the first place? Wake up. So while all the events are all unfolding for season what, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and all of that, what you're gonna see is probably the fucking disaster that you don't want. Right? I'm trying to prevent it before it reoccurs itself. Work it out. What did my grandfather do? Safeguard us all. Bing, bella, boom. Right? You got to realise, so did my father. But he screwed up a little bit. Not too much, but just enough. Go on. Keep going forward like it was going forward. Now add up the other pieces. It all adds up. So while you lot are all thinking about saying Diesel Team True Motors and actions, they don't care about kids, they don't care about the public, they don't care about the community. All they care about is the money side. When they run the management like fucking to the ground, which is why the management is going down the ground, they're leaving the building. Ding, 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 ding. Every time there's a new employee come in play or a new employer come in place, they all fucked. Why? Because they all fucked themselves. Right? You're watching it and you're not laughing about it. You're taking it damn seriously, and you're realising the Diesel team and Street Motors and actions have a lot more to do with it. I said they have. Why do you think Daisy got away with her blue murder? You know, when I was talking to my private connection, right, I said she's here and she's causing trouble. What do? You can't slap her, obviously, or hit her or any shape or form. Right? Okay. Right in the day, what do you think I have to do to get round things that I can't always do in front? Right? There's a lot of things that you don't get, right? When you go across against people, right, doesn't matter if it's Tom, Dick, or Harry, sometimes you end up with the truth right in front of your eyeballs. Me, my grandfather, my father, we all had to deal with Daisy all the way through. It was been trying to tell you 3 times strikes. Why? She's out. Poof. Why? Because we knew her personality, inside and out. Right? So with her out of the way, then you got Divas Diesel and his wife left over. Why? And who Harkett. Why? Because they're a bunch of morons to realise, okay, Divas Diesel was on the line for one reason. He left the building because I sent him packing. Right? Who Harkett did not do nothing because it wasn't his turn. Think about it. Hugh Harkett is at the moment is pissing people off. The management is pissing people off. The porters, the guards, and the security at the end, they all pissed off because of the management got fucked up by a lie, a deceit, and dishonesty. 3 things, right? There's always 3 things that always destroys everything up. What will happen is the stories will unfold as naturally as they would, but watch all the destruction they do. Right? It's taken me a long time for you to realise I had to unravel this properly to make it correct again. So work it out. What do? You send me to do a job to recorrect things, right? That's what I'm doing. But it's taking, there's a lot of it. It's so real life. You don't see the real actions all the time, right? So you're gonna see the action be done, and then you will see it all done, poof, and it comes to life, right? What will happen is, if I tell you now, this is really, really down to the T. The Diesel team does no longer exist. They're fucking dead, right? Andrew Mudden, Joe Mudden, Hugh Harkett, and the management, they all fucking dead. Why? Because they're dead. Right? Because now it's my time against their time at the moment. Right at the moment, they're fighting it out. But I'm winning because I'm innocent, right? How do I know I'm innocent and I've been on the steam team for a very long time since I was 5 years of age and it started to unfold in front of everybody's eyes. Everything is unfolding naturally. Right, then now I'm 40 years ahead from 1984, which people assumed that I was at front of Boco at the time. I wasn't, not until 2024. So why do you think I got a timer on myself? Just get real for this one. Right, it's a real fact, it's a real truth. Why is it 40 years ahead? You see, a safeguard was put in place to safeguard me all along. Right? You're going to get your timeline, the extended timeline of that series, of the book, and that's it. And that's it. The thing will fall into place. Why? The RWS started it, the RWS finishes it. Why? Everybody that I know, my family, my friends, my connections, and all of that, they all going to work it out and realize where they fit. Right? These little tiny pieces will come together. The Diesel team will be gone because they'd be dead, right? The whole management for the North Norfolk Railway is going to be dead. Why? They never got shown the way you saw it, right? The management is dead. The Diesel team is dead, right? And so is their bloody connections, obviously, to the point. But there's always a repeating pattern. Why? Why did Boko return for so long and they ended up level crossing it over? Think about it. Right? There's some logical truth there and right in front of your eyes and you can't pick it up. Right? Hugh Harkett and all the rest of the management are going bye bye. With Joe Mudden gone, bye bye. Why? Then Divas Diesel will come back later. He's not gonna come back earlier, he's coming back later. Why is he the last surviving Diesel on the island? There's something about Andrew Mudden. He will return, but what will happen is because he's in his 50s, 60s, or something like that, or 70s at least, he's going to work out and realise he's got a apology to make. Why? Because he didn't see it unfold properly. Now he's seen it unfold. Everything's starting to unfold. Right? You got Boko coming next. What will happen is anything that was steamy, steam lines, steam trains, all of that, they all gonna come to the North Norfolk Railway. Why? To make everyone correct properly. To give you the storyline you need. Some of it will come from the people, some of it will come from the engines. Works both ways. Why? In the day, you're going to end up realizing it's a real life event, and then people will start waking up, smelling the coffee, and apologizing to me. Why? Because I've been witnessing it as much as you did. So, if you look at it left, right, and center, the diesel team are dead, the, the management is dead, the porters and the guards are just lying on their teeth, they will fade away a bit and the new set will come in. Why? New employees make better progress. The employers or the management is going to be run by me. Why? Because I'm their boss. Why? I'm going to make sure that you get the right treatment and the right respect you deserve and lower ticket prices. So with the high ticket prices that they're doing now, right now, it's not done by me. It's done by the diesel team. They are screwing up everything that you see unfold. Well, you've already read the books. Just now adds 40 years from 1984 to 2024. Works a year. Right? So I'm 40 years of age. I'm the right age for it to kick in. And now you screwed up because you couldn't work out why. Like the diesel team, true motives will always be evil. Right? And their actions have more consequences than a bloody book will tell. Right? If you look at Diesel's timeline and everybody else's timeline, you all pick up the pieces and then the little pieces will come together every time and then things will slowly come in your head and say it's been real. All this time we've had a real life event. Bang, bang, bang. All this time and he's proven his valor, he's proved my point, which is true. And I don't lie to the cops or anybody else. It's just acknowledging the false information. So when you're dealing with the false information, what do you do with the diesel team that has true motives, true actions, and all of that shit, and they end up scrapping nearly everyone on the platform? The management will go because they don't. I don't need the management to run the railway straight away, right? They're gonna learn the hard way. The money will be dropping because we have to be reasonable, realistic. The mileage has to be done right. Everything else has to be done right. You can't just say, oh, it's going to be £24 or whatever it is, pound, whatever prices it was. Do you know what? Like I said, money talks, bullshit walks. Right? You have to establish that the diesel team and their management and all of that, they will leave. They will go. They will go. Why? Because they lost. Right? They lost the plot. So as it unfolds in front of you, from the Norfolk Railway Department, you'll end up realizing everything unfolding is in truth the way it was told from all the series all the way to Wild Northwestern's timeline, which is tied into all of it. Right? If you look, if anything did go wrong, right, it's it's the misunderstanding and misled, not misled, but misleading cops is the worst thing you can do on a line, right? So by saying, look, Diesel's going to get his just desserts, and then Sydney will goes away because he's retiring, and the management will fall because the management has to be rebooted somewhere down the line. They won't come back because I'm too powerful. So work it out. When you've got somebody that's clever and intelligent to know these things, you don't jump off a cliff and run for the hills, right? A lot of people don't realise what they're doing until they realise what is actually unfolding in front of them. I said, how much do you need for evidence? There's too much evidence. You see, when everything unfolds in truth, you will understand why. There's a things that are led to certain people for a reason. The North Norfolk Railway has got that bad reputation right now for living a lie. Living a lie. What I mean is they've been told something that isn't true. Right? The truth behind everything that's been unfolded since 2019 and above, work it out. You screwed up somewhere while I was safe in my house doing season one, and then we are stuck in the middle with season two because the diesel team had screwed up. So work it out, go forward, then the management and everybody else, we all talk about their true motives and actions and consequences and understanding and misled station, and on top of that, I said the diesel team won't last for much longer because I know certain things that you don't know. Like we all talk about this, the history does repeat itself, yes, but why? You see, by watching me, you're learning what generation 1 and 2 have done. Right, so you're working out. You basically had Daisy, who's bloody out of order. You know what I mean? She thinks she's in the Claire. She isn't in the Claire. She could go to prison for what she's done anyway. Because you have to follow the story from book 1 all the way forward and then work it way. It's a full timeline in sync with Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek the series, Star Trek as a whole, and then you got Murder She Wrote, then you got the Bill on top. I said, did you ever know that it was all unfolding in truth? When you link it all together, what do you think was unfolding now? The truth will set you free, but the Norfolk Railway are ready to have their last moments. Right, so the diesel team will fall, the management will go, and they will end up with nobody. Why? The porters and the guards will end up complaining because they want something bad enough, and they will end up crying wolf because they're trying to get something sorted, and the security guard that's on there with glasses, he's a total dick, right? He deserves to be fired, right? So realistically, you've got somebody that's probably seen the real life event, which is true, on the railway itself. So work it out. Who's missing? Me, of course. That fills in the missing gap. But that's realistic for you. So with Diesel Team being true motives, evil actions, and all of that, and consequences they do, they ending up. If you try to split the timeline up, you get the full story. Bang, and then you end up with one problem. Now it's my time to put things right. And I've been trying to do that for nearly 3 or 4 years. Why? Because I started doing what needs to be done. It was well planned out, it was well organized, and it wasn't dishonesty. The only thing is that the diesel team and the management will screw themselves over. They have got no rights to give me the disrespect or dishonesty or trust. What they have to build on is trust, honesty, and respect. All of that. But it has to be trust, has to be earned. Respect has to be earned. And you get what I mean. And it's all going that way. And you've got to realize the diesel team has misled you. They dishonest you. They have been truthful with you. They always make actions that have consequences, not the other way round. Right? The problem is you're getting the results from me saying this is the result and you got Boko, but then you got to work out how does Bill and Ben fit in all of this. That's a good point, isn't it? When you see Boko come online, who screwed up sometimes? It all adds up. Their storyline adds up, but then why? I get the memo, I get the extra bits included, and I get the result in the end. Right? You lot are witnessing Thomas and Friends in real life, not a bloody children's book. I keep telling people that. I said the diesel team, the true motives, and the actions they do are so toxicated. This is why they booted out every one of us. And this is why they say you can't be on the platform, you can't do this, you can't do that. And the porters and the guards follow the same suit. What happens when they all travel on the same line? They all fucked up. So the porters and the guards will have to change track to safeguard themselves. And then what happens to all the bloody staff? They all be fucked up, but they stay on the same track. Why? Because they've been dishonest, untrustworthy, and they've been disrespectful. Bang. That's the management and Hoo Harkett and all the rest of the diesel team. Thank you very much.